So now I would like to invite the second paper. The second paper is a joint paper. This will be presented by Professor M.N.P. Tiwari and Dr. Kishore Sinha. Both of them are Banaras Hindu University, and both of them have done extensive work on Jaina art. This morning session is especially devoted to Jaina art, and we are very happy to see the paintings. And now we hope we will be able to see architecture and sculpture and other parts of other aspects of Jaina art. So now I invite Dr. Sinha and Professor Tiwari to present their paper. And I think I should go there so that it's better, so that I can see yes, better.
Pranam. All the respected scholars and friends. As earlier the chairperson says, it is joint paper. Firstly, I read first part of this paper, reappraisal of previous study of Jain art. After that, my guru, Professor Martin Tiwari ji, describe with slide and there are some observations towards his future study. So I start my part with kind permission of chairperson. As one of three principal religious and cultural streams of India, Jainism has contributed immensely to the field of Indian art and culture. Somehow, in the latter half 19th century, Jain art could not receive due attention of scholars or received very little attention as compared to study of Vedic Puranic and Buddhist art. Encouragingly enough, the study of Jain art has drawn considerable interest of scholars, both from India and abroad, for well over past 100 years, which was more vigorous for last 17 years. Among the earliest scholars, the mention may be made of Alexander Cunningham, Burgess, Smith, T.N. Ramchandran, D.R. Bhandarkar, and few others. Alexander Cunningham, in his reports, published valuable data about the some of the Jain sites, namely Mathura, Khajuraho, Gwalior, Devgarh, and Chandeli. Cunningham, besides giving the correct identification of some Tirthankar images, also published the inscriptions. The works of subsequent scholars were confined mainly the Jain antiquities and inscriptions from Mathura, which was the earliest and most prolific center of interactive art and culture. During Kushan period, Mathura was meeting ground of different traditions, including alien ones. All writings of Jain art take note of Mathura as a key center of Jain art, because all the formative stages of Jain art and iconography involved at Mathura during Kushan period. Buehler published article on Jain inscription from Mathura, besides an article on Jain sculptures. The discussions on Jain Ayakpat, Nagameshi, and narrative part showing the scene of transfer of embryo of Mahavir are of particular interest. V.A. Smith published the first exhaustive work on Mathura entitled The Jain Stup and Other Antiquities of Mathura, wherein the detailed and authentic study has been done of Jain Ayakpatas and Tirthankar images, besides discussion on the antiquities of Jain Stup of Mathura. For understanding the content, spirit, and the form of Jain deities, mainly the Jain and Yakshakshi, the specific writing on Jain iconography started with the beginning of 20th century, and James Burgess and Helen M. Johnson and T.N. Ramchandran were the pioneers. James Burgess wrote on Digambar Jain iconography on the basis of some cannaries Dhyan mantra, while Johnson wrote on Shwetambar Jain iconography, discussing the iconographic feature of Jain Sasan Devta or Yakshakshis on the basis of an important Jain works of Hemchand, the Rishash Salaka Purush Charita. T.N. Ramchandran also wrote on important Jain monuments of Tirupati Kurinam in Kanchipuram, referring to its rich painting and iconography of Yakshakshis. While R.P. Chandra and T.N. Ramchandran examined Harappan nude torso figure and were inclined to identification it as the earliest Jain image in India, which, however, is not tenable for the want of definitive evidence. James Burgess, Cousins, Ferguson, D.R. Bhandarkar, and Percy Brown dealt with the architectural remains and the other antiquities of Jainas in their works of Indian architecture under different titles, which further enlarged the scope of study of Jain art, furnishing various architectural and sculptural data and their landmarks. The study was further widened in course of time, and some scholars like K.P. Jaiswal concentrated on identifying the earliest known Jain image from Lohanipur, Patna, datable to Mauryan period, while other significant contribution on Jain remains at Rajgir, Devgarh, Tirupati Kurinam, and also Udaygiri and Khandgiri caves. Such database studies were followed by the comprehensive, analytical, and detailed study of Jain iconography by some scholars. Such a study was first presented by B. Bhattacharya in the form of an article, followed by a book, The Jain Iconography by B.C. Bhattacharya. In his pioneering work, B.C. Bhattacharya has utilized for the first time the iconographic data available in the Jain text like Nirvan Kalika, Achar Dinkar, Rishash Salaka Purush Charit, and Pratishtha Sar Sangrah. The iconography of all the important Jain deities has been discussed for the first time in this book, and an appropriate corroboration with the actual art specimen has also attempted, which mainly illustrated the iconic data from Mathura and in some cases Devgarh. The detailed use of archaeological data in the form of images and also paintings to establish the corroboration with literature were made by only subsequent scholars. The study of Jain iconography was further advanced and was made in true historical perspective by U.P. Shah, who was invaluable contributions through his elaborate and analytical writing in the forms of articles, monographs, and thematic books for about 50 years, beginning from 1914 and continuing up to 1988 till the time of his demise. In his wide-ranging exhaustive writing, he discussed variety of subjects and problems pertaining to Jain art and iconography, including paintings. He was the first to make detailed and critical use the literary data belonging to both the Shwetambar and Digambar affiliations, and also their comparison and correspondence with the visual manifestation in sculptural art and painting. Although sporadic references to archaeological data from all over country was made by U.P. Shah, he has been exhaustive, particularly in the reference to Western Indian Shwetambar Jain sites. His monograph on Akota bronzes is particular worth mentioning. In his book, Studies in Jain Art, Shah has discussed extensively the Jain Ayakpatas and other symbol and auspicious dreams. His article on Jivan Swami, Bahubali, minor Jain deities, and evolution or beginning of Jain iconography have been pioneered. His book entitled Jain Roop Mandal is monumental work on Jain iconography, which besides the Jain Tirthankaras, elaborately give the iconography of Sasan Devtas, particularly of Rishabhnath, Neminath, Parshvanath, and Mahavir in great detail. However, the archaeological data mainly from the sub-prolific Digambar Jain sites of North India do not find adequate mention in his writing. Besides UPSA, a number of other scholars like V.S. Agrawal, K.D. Bajpai, S.D. Sankalia, R.C. Agrawal, Devla Mitra, Klaus Brun, Balchand Jain, R.K. Mohapatra, R.C. Sharma, V.N. Sharma, Munisri Jayant Vijay, P.V. Desai, M.A. Dhaki, S. Setar, and many others have been writing with analytical and development orientation either on different aspects of Jain art and iconography, or they have confined their study to the archaeological material aided by different sites like Mathura, Devgarh, Chandpur, Osian, Khajuraho, Dilwara, Kumbharia, Ellora, Khandagiri, Sravan-Belgore, etc. My guru, Professor Martinandan Tiwari ji, has also tried to contribute to the field of Jain art, including aesthetic aspects and iconography, and some innovative forms and related problems. While the study of Jain iconography progressed fast in the later half 20th century, the study of Jain architecture was somewhat slow. However, Krishnadev and M.A. Dhaki, Michael Meister, R. Nagaswamy, K.V. Soundararajan, M.C. Joshi, Klaus Brun, D.R. Das, K.R. Srinivasan had mainly contributed to the field of Jain architecture. Of these, contribution of M.A. Dhaki on Western Indian and of Krishnadev on Central Indian Jain temples are trend-setting work adopting accurate textual and regional architectural terms and making out the comparative and regional features and functional rationality along with the conceptual spirit in the architectural manifestations. The contribution of Krishnadev to the field of Jain architecture are undoubtedly most extensive, covering a vast span of time and area in respect of Jain monuments of North India, which include Khajuraho, Gyaraspur, Osian, On, Jhalarpatan, Khanderao, Sewadi, etc. M.A. Dhaki has written extensively on the Jain temples of Western India, particularly on Kumbharia, Osian, Khanderao, Sadri, Nagaur, and Nadlai. Both these scholars have presented the integrated study of Jain architecture and sculpture along with the discussion on iconographic features of icons. Their conclusion and observations tracing the evolution of Jain architecture in relation to Indian architecture are of great consequence. Since Dr. Saryu Doshi ji, an eminent scholar of Jain painting and author of masterpieces of Jain paintings, has already discussed about the recent researches on Jain painting, so I am skipping painting portion. The publication of Jain art and architecture edited by A. Ghosh in 3 volumes by Bharati Gyanpith is most comprehensive and up-to-date publication on Jain art and architecture, which comprise articles of scholars from different areas and expertise. The volumes published in 1974 to 1975 cover a time span from circa 300 BCE to 1800 CE. The entire study has been presented in the backdrop of different regions like East India, West India, North India, Deccan, South India. Apart from integrated study of architecture and sculpture with the appropriate textual corroboration, an account of Jain inscription, symbol on coins, textual references to Jain iconography and architecture, and Jain antiquities in different museums in India and abroad have further added to the value of the work. These volumes virtually serve as the encyclopedia of Jain art and architecture. After 1975, numerous works on Jain art at Dilwara, Kumbharia, Devgarh, Ellora, Gwalior, Khandagiri, Sravan-Belgore, and other places in South India have been published. Besides the work dealing the regional feature and development of Jain sculpture, painting, and iconography, the book by Sri Shivram Murthy, Panorama of Jain Art of South India, is one of the such important works. Works based on monumental text, namely Trisa Saraka Purush and Mahapurana, for the study of Jain art have also come to us. In recent years, some important publication of Jain on Jain temples and other antiquities in foreign countries have also published to show interest increasing of scholars and Jain community alike towards Jain art heritage. Next.
Respected friends, as you have heard, the first part is a appraisal of the previous work, which was supposed to be presented in the spirit of the theme of this seminar. And now I would discuss, because I have already sent my complete paper to Swamiji. So I will talk with the visuals only, and regarding some of the problems and some of the innovations made by the Jain, and also some of the misgivings we do have in our mind as to Jain art. Of course, it was little attended as compared to Brahminical and Buddhist. I would rather call Vedic Puranic tradition. I have used the word. So now the time has come that we should think in terms of future study, and the future study in this respect should also explore with examples the methodology for the integrated study of Jain art and architecture, sports painting, for better understanding of Jainism and its philosophy as a whole, and also as Jainism being a part of the Indian culture and tradition. Because we have been studying in sequence. Now I think the time has come that we should think in terms of holistic and the interactions, assimilations, which was very much there. Anyway, on 5-6 points I will basically focus. One is as to the mudras or the postures. Postures and gestures are very significant because they in stone, in painting, in silent way communicate so many things to us. So how mudras of Jainism, or shown with the jinas particularly, specifically communicate us as to the main focus of Jainism being on the spirituality, renunciation, and aparigraha, that is non-acquisition. Then another thing is that what we see in Jain